Romani Union, on behalf of the German Sintis, was one of our vice president at a very early age. And let us not forget about the internationally renowned Hungarian Roma poet, also vice president, called Menher Lakatos, whose participation in the international gathering was such a miracle since he was the only participant from the other side of the Iron Curtain. Professor Rishi from India, who later became the founder of and director of the Romani Union in Chandigarh. Vanya de Gida Kochanowski, a Polish Roma poet and linguist who escaped to France. Professor Jan Hancock, a linguist from the University of Texas at Houston. And yes, Jules Briner, actor in Hollywood, one of the Magnificent Sevens. The 8th of April, celebrating International Roma Day, means endeavoring to reproduce the ancient Roma tradition. Since the beginning of the month, the paths and roads already have dried up, wandering with hundreds of thousands of services, activities in their mind and in their hand. Of course, it is different now, when the balance and order of our globe is threatened by global warming. We, as the late descendants, organize celebrations instead of starting a trek. We sprinkle the water with the first flowers of spring as the itinerants of guests and those and Sarah's Day, giving a message with the flowers that we are formulating one nation and we may never forget that we are siblings. And as the old saying goes, Drom dromesa chirakayol, Bapa ipa esa, Rom romesa, Jikai avla lumatsara rakayola. Road with water, and Roma with another Roma does, until we'll have our globe and until we will have water. We need to celebrate. We need intimacy and care, more highlighted than with our culture. So we don't forget, for us, we wish power, good health and luck to each other. We sing and dance together. And in our modern times, we find a variety of languages power of maintaining togetherness. Over the busy studies and successes of centuries, it is still very important to show solidarity, to respect our elders, to love our children, and to rely on our faith in the deep importance of our families. And this is philosophy, and this philosophy is rooted in the Almighty God, in whether we are non-believers. Because these confessions and confirmations are factors that strengthen our human dignity. Because we feel that being Roma is a good thing which we can be proud of, and because being of the shortage of the personal skills or failure of our ancestors, neither ours. We must not just have identity, but on the contrary to this, we have to strike those having prejudice toward us. We must proudly and boldly declare that we are Roma, one of the nations in Hungary and in different parts of Europe today. Is not so good being Roma. Today, when different national governments are talking about the integration of Roma, they tend to handle the problem as a social issue, as it was before the Romani Union. There might be some governments which are more likely to handle it as a human rights issue and urge to equalizing question to be solved. But all of them tend to avoid creating the appropriate circumstances for us to assume our identity, to teach and to research our hundreds of centuries long common history, to bring this knowledge into schools curricula. In Hungary, for instance, many people feel the violation of their national integrity when we speak about heroes in Hungarian history with Roma origin. They see us as newcomers, strange people. We also ours, and we won't let anybody dispute this, to forcibly possess it, to take it away. This very moment, we must declare this aloud. We have dual identity. We belong to a country, and at the same time we are Roma. We belong to both nations at the same time. When it comes to talking about an unemployment rate of 80–90% among Roma, we demand access to job awareness, that we are a useful and powerful people that have the intention to contribute with our own power to be the breadwinners of our families, and so that the elderly generations can have a peaceful time when they get to that age. This capacity that is not needed or used would be able to create such a peaceful situation. When we demonstrate against school segregation and demand better quality education, we are not nationalists, and we don't only care for our nationality's rights, but we do this for the vast majority too. We are fighting against making differences simply on the grounds of the color of the skin, and we fight for our next generation's future. For peace, we could be based on pressuring nationalities. We don't want only liberté, égalité, fraternité, freedom, equality, and brotherhood for all.